Bar Stool Sports. Titus, Brandon Walker, Coastline Sports.
Welcome to Mostly Sports, presented by Jägermeister. I'm Mark Titus. He is Brandon Walker. Today is Tuesday, May 6th. We are live from Chicago. We are brought to you by Jägermeister. 0 degrees Fahrenheit, 56 botanicals. Wherever you're at, if you're hanging with friends or at the bar, or maybe at the Bet Gala last night.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
What an event.
Wow.
What an event.
Can I ask a question? Have you ever?
I mean, not to that extent.
No.
Not to that extent.
And look at them. Blissfully ignorant over there. They don't know.
They don't get it.
They don't know. They don't know. And it's not their fault they don't know.
No, but man, what a night.
Oh,
what a
God.
There was the
yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to say it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
And then do you remember after that?
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
A motherfucking Bet Gala.
Yes.
What a night.
Woo!
Or maybe you're doing all the sports stuff or just the mostly sports stuff. Call the shots. Cheers with ice cold Jägermeister. Remember to check Jägermeister out at barstoolxjagermeister.com. Drink responsibly. Jägermeister the core. 35% alcohol by volume, imported by Master Jägermeister U.S. White Plains, New York. What do you want to talk about, Brandon?
Is the Bet Gala up for discussion?
I mean, we promised we would just leave everything behind closed doors, man, because I think that's for the best.
Right.
But at the same time,
I think for a lot of reputations, that's probably best too.
But for those of us that were there, you want to talk about it, but you almost don't even need to talk about it.
You don't need to talk about it. Just like looking at you now, I mean, we know. What do I want to talk about? The NBA playoffs have officially jumped up a notch.
Mm-hmm.
Bam! I don't know if you know what I did. Bam! Bam! Bang! Boom!
Emerald Lagasse.
Mm-hmm. The chef.
What did you say? Lagasse?
Emerald Lagasse.
Yeah.
Bam! Bam! Jumped up a notch.
What's he doing? What's he adding? Just any spice? Or
anything.
Is it,
I don't think it's
signature
a certain
spice.
I don't know that. I think it's anything. It can be a little. Huh?
I think he has his own brand of spices.
But he'll do Bam for salt, pepper,
garlic, salt,
paprika
maybe. Although paprika doesn't really add flavor, it just adds color. Bam! Boom! So we had 2 banger games last night. The NBA playoffs have jumped up a notch because all three favorites, all 3 home teams get beat at home.
First time in NBA history, 3 60-win teams lose game 1.
No.
In the same round.
Fuck you, really?
Yeah.
That's
the play-by-play era, at least.
Okay.
Since
right.
in the first time in history. That one's not a play-by-play stat.
Is that in all the eras? Name the other eras.
It's in all the
tennis shoe era, the
peach basket era.
The peach basket era, sure.
Yeah, the fucking the plumber era.
The plumber era, the cocaine era.
There was the way back in the day. There was the no carry era where it was the first time they put sports on television, and then every clip they're dribbling like that. You know,
there was an
era.
There was an era when point guards dribbling looked hilarious.
Yeah, they
where Bob Cousy's just flopping his hand like that.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Thunder Nuggets or Celtics Knicks?
I don't know. I honestly don't know what the more interesting one is. I think they're both. I think they're both fat. After the Celtics blew the 20-point lead against the Knicks, you thought surely that is going to be the most insane game of the night. Right. How could it not be?
Mm-hmm.
The way the Thunder lost was equally as insane.
They both did the same thing. They got their big leads and they got comfortable and they dicked around. The Celtics just were dicking around. The Celtics were dicking around and then it got tight and they couldn't turn it back on. They couldn't hit shots. They missed 45 3-pointers.
45 threes, Brandon.
They went 15 of 60. They missed 45 threes. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say we need to do an indictment on their style of play. It won them a championship last year and it very well could win them a championship this year. That's just how they play. They like to whip the ball around, set up a three, get a wide open three. The reason I thought they lost last night, especially in the fourth quarter, was they were missing those threes because they were taking bad threes.
Mm-hmm.
Tatum was running down the shot clock, and he was just going one-on-one, and he was hoisting 25-foot threes. Jaylen Brown was 1 of 10 from three. Like I just felt like when the game got tight after the 3-minute mark of the third quarter, the Celtics never really generated the easy looks they generate all the time.
6'7", Jaylen Brown.
Yeah,
is that how tall he probably is?
He's a big guy.
6'8".
Yeah.
Shoulders carved out of marble.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking
can jump
out of the gym. Gets 6 foot, maybe 6'1", 6'6". All right.
6'6" is still. It's over 6'5" where it becomes really impressive.
Yeah, it's very close to 6'7".
And in tall shoes.
Tall shoes, he's 6'7".
Probably 6'7".
Gets 6 foot, 6'1", Jalen Brunson on him.
Yeah.
In a one-on-one situation.
And says, "Let me find that 3-point line."
I'm gonna go ahead and shoot a step back three.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot threes. I'm gonna shoot threes. Which like you said, it won a championship for the Celtics, but last year. But when it's bad, last night is what happens, and it's very, very bad, and it's disgusting to watch.
Yeah.
Like it made for a fun game, but it's also just like, it's you're a fan of the 3-point shot. You're a fan of the teams jacking the threes. I think there is a line. I guess it's the 3-point line. There is a line where I'm like this is too much. This is too much, and I think the Celtics have pushed through into the too much.
The Celtics
territory.
Brainwaves kind of break down when it comes to if the team like the Knicks is locking down the 3-point line and making you take difficult shots, they don't adjust at all.
Yeah.
They don't adjust. There was one play, I think midway through the fourth quarter, the ball found Derek White, and I want to say he was 4 feet from the basket with nobody in between him and the basket, and he just stopped and scanned the 3-point line. How do I kick it out? How do I get it out there when a wide open layup was right there? And Derek White was bad last night too. He made 5 threes, but
you have to take those shots to then open up the three. The whole reason
the
threes work is because
you got to run the ball every now and then so you can pass it.
When the Celtics are at their best, guys are the defense is sprinting out to the 3-point line. Then they drive right past them.
You're getting
layups, and then if you help, we kick it out to the corner, and now we have the wide open
layups and threes is better than.
But when you're going into the game and you're saying we're going to shoot a fuck ton of threes no matter what, and the other team knows that. Yeah, you're right. You don't want to overreact to one game. The Celtics very well may win the championship this year and win the series. Obviously, they're going to have to win the series if they win the championship. But when the Celtics are not making threes, it is dreadful basketball to watch.
On the other side, when the Knicks get in these close games, they are like this beautiful, chaotic mess of, all right, Jalen Brunson's going to lead us. Jalen Brunson's gonna he's going to do his thing, and then the other 4 guys are going to play their roles around him. They're going to be ready when he gets them an open shot. They're going to be ready to take it and make it, or they're going to be ready to crash the glass, and they're going to be ready to clean up his mess. But they are a wonderful, chaotic mixture of something that I like. It doesn't totally make sense. It's not pleasing to the eye, but Jalen Brunson is so good with the ball in his hands and so good creating that it's working, and it works a lot.
Yeah.
And who stepped up? Anunoby, I believe, hit a 3 last night.
That third quarter,
29.
That third quarter, where majority of the run that the Knicks made to get back into the game, Brunson was on the bench, and it was Anunoby who was.
In the fourth quarter, Brunson, I think, hit 3 threes in a row, and I looked down and I said, well, he must have 50 points. And it felt like that, and I think at that time he had like 25, 26.
Yeah, he was off up until that, a little bit.
But when it was time to go, that's what got him going, I guess. Anunoby gets him going, and then Brunson joins the party, and then off they go. But they really, they stared him down. Now, the Celtics have lost games at home, like last year. I think the first 3 series, they lost 1 game at home every series, I think.
Yeah, they swept the Pacers, but the Pacers should have won.
Sure.
Game 1. But yeah, the Celtics have had problems with Game 1 in the past.
Yeah, getting going after. Of course, the Knicks had they both had ample time off. That wasn't rest versus rust. That was rest versus rest. I'll say that the Celtics have been there before. They've lost a game at home before. I'm a lot more worried if I'm a Thunder fan that we just blew a gigantic opportunity than I am if I'm a Celtics fan. If I'm a Celtics fan, I'm like, all right, whatever.
If you're a Celtics fan, you say, like you said, we are the defending champs. It's basically the exact same team, and this is how we play. And we know it's a 7-game series, so you know you're going to have one night maybe where this happens. But
sure.
Just trust that We trust that this isn't going to happen 3 more times where we miss 45 threes. Is that a record, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
The most missed threes?
Most missed threes in a playoff game. Yeah.
Attempting 45 threes is crazy.
They attempted
60.
63.
Well, especially after
45.
they pointed out at halftime how the Celtics were doing such a great job. At this point, I think they were up by 10 or 13 of getting Tatum with Cat guarding him or Brown with Cat guarding him. And that's why Karl Anthony Towns was in such foul trouble, and then they just totally abandoned driving to the basket.
Yeah, Tatum stops getting aggressive with the basketball, and when the game gets close, he just gets to the 3-point line, he stares him down, and he just tries to set up the either step back or just straight in rhythm three. He just tries to set it up, and he doesn't try to use anything else in his arsenal. Doesn't try to use his teammates. Doesn't try to use his first step. Doesn't try to use anything. He just wants to get to that three, and he just kept jacking bad threes.
Mm-hmm.
And Jaylen Brown was missing open threes, so he was 1 for 10.
Missing 45 threes. What is this, a Connor Griffin's weekend at the bar?
Hey-o.
Missing on 45 threes.
Yeah, you're right.
But the the Thunder, the Thunder, 10-point lead in 2 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and they're playing a former champ themselves.
Right.
You gotta wonder. Hey, we're a young team. We've not done this before. We've never been there. We had the best record in the league in the regular season, or one of them. I don't know if it was them or the Cavs that had the best overall record. But we had the best record in the Western Conference, and now we get to crunch time. Our coach doesn't understand clock management and fouls. Our team just shuts down. What's going on here?
The Thunder had did they have the number 1 seed last year too? Or
Yeah.
they 2 seed.
Well, they
were the one
tied.
seed.
They tied. Remember, I think
they
they
the
were
one or
the
the
two-way
two last
tie,
year?
and they were the 1.
They were the 1 last
Yeah.
year. So this is the second year in a row they're the 1. And last year, obviously, they came up short in the playoffs, and that was supposed to be we're the young team. We're not quite ready yet.
Right.
This year was supposed to be the
More
year.
ready. We're more ready.
And between the fouling situation, which we need Ebo, we gotta bring Ebo in because this is a nerd conversation.
Or press the nerd button.
We need to press the nerd button. Between that and the thing that worried me the most, though, about down the stretch was just Chet Holmgren at the free throw line. Not only that he missed them, the first one especially, you guys saw it. Am I crazy, or did it take him 35 seconds to shoot that free throw?
Forever.
Like that was
He went through every
Can we
step.
psychologically read into that? I think so, right? Like it felt like he was like, oh fuck, oh fuck,
Yeah.
oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
The moment was too big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went through every stage of beef during that shot.
He did.
Discuss that.
Yeah.
Bend your knees,
Balance.
eyes, elbow, follow through.
Eyes, elbow, follow through. That's right. Yeah, beef.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that is a fair concern with the Thunder. I'm worried about the thought, other than Shea, who's going to win MVP and obviously a great player, it doesn't feel like any of them really want to step up in this crunch time moments.
So why are they fouling up three?
They don't
they did?
They don't have anybody to guard Jokic.
Well, nobody does though.
They fouled up 3 because that's what you have to do in basketball. You're up by 3, you foul.
Right.
What they
timed it
didn't
wrong.
seem to understand was they fouled the second the ball was inbounded. They fouled like they were down. They fouled like you're trying to extend the game. So what? This is the talking point this morning. Ebo is fouling up 3. Do we rethink whether you should always foul up 3? Because they also fouled up 3 when Jokic was out of the game and got Jokic back in the game.
Yeah, that one was bizarre. Because you could have left him on the bench for theoretically until you were back up 5.
So
yeah,
because even if they go down and make a shot, they don't have a chance to get it back until they foul. I guess.
But we've reached a point in basketball where if you don't foul up 3, the media will put clown shoes on you. You're certified bozo if you don't do it now. And I think maybe context matters. But also if they like the Aaron Gordon one, the last one with 10 seconds left, they're up by 3 and the Nuggets inbound the ball, and Aaron Gordon has the ball 90 feet from the basket and they just hack him the second he catches it. That's insane. If they just wait till he dribbles to half court and foul him, they win the game. So maybe we maybe this doesn't change our thoughts on fouling up 3, but it is interesting because I think the prevailing thought right now is you 100% do it, no questions asked. You're a moron if you don't do it. And then last night, I guess
Well,
it backfired.
yeah, they did. They violated one of the tenets. I guess when you're down and you're fouling for two reasons: A, to see if they'll miss a free throw, and you steal the point, and B, you foul them as soon as they get the ball. The clock can't go down, and you're extending the game. If you're up, extending the game is the last thing you ever want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You never want to. Clock is so, and you're right. Just going from inbounding to half court, that's 2.5, 3 seconds, right?
Yeah.
You add those up, game's over.
The game's over. The game was just over.
So what possesses a coach to do this? Why would they?
It's his fault.
Ebo, what'd you
It's
do?
his fault.
What'd you do?
It's
I
guys
don't know.
like him.
I don't know the exact math, but I think the theory is basically there's an expected value for every possession, like how many points per possession are going to occur.
He did this.
If you foul Aaron Gordon
Connor pointed
at the free throw line, he's what? What does he shoot from the free throw line? Like 70-something%?
He's 81% this year.
Okay. So you're trading 1.6 for, and then you think you're getting a guy that shoots 90% or something. You're trading that. You're trading the 1.6 for the 1.65.
Coaches used to
over the long run, you'd win.
Coaches used to
Small
treat
sample size.
these situations on vibes, Brandon. They used to just like just feel it out. Just
Yeah.
feel what your vibes are telling you. Like, are we gonna foul? Are we not? We don't really like. What's the vibe of the game telling you? Are they hitting threes? Are they not hitting threes? Who's in the game?
But now they have a book.
Now they have a book. Now they have not only a book. They have nerds like Ebo on the internet that have just been hammering foul up three, foul up three, foul up three. And then they don't turn their brains on. They forget to like turn their brains on. They forget to turn their hearts on.
Yeah.
They forget to turn.
So
They forget to turn their guts on.
these
their
coaches
balls
need
on.
to turn their hearts
They need
on.
to turn their heart and their gut and their balls.
Their heart gut balls?
Their heart, gut, and balls. Turn all of it on, and their brain.
Question. What's more
Turn it-
important, heart, gut, or balls?
Turn it all on.
You had to draft heart, gut, balls.
I think balls. I like balls.
So what about
I think
stones?
balls. I think stones. You turn your stones on.
Well, where do onions come in?
Would you rather have a guy with stones or a guy with that dog in him?
I'd rather have stones.
Stones.
Yeah.
You want stones.
Although a guy with the dog in him can play defense. A guy with stones is just an offensive guy, I think.
But what's the how do you say the Thunder coach's last name?
Yeah.
Dagano.
Yeah.
Is that right?
You said
I-
before he ever said a word.
I didn't even
by the
say
way.
anything. I said, how do you
Daniel.
say his name?
Daniel.
Dagnow?
Mark
Mark
Dajnialt.
Dagnow.
Mark Dashnialt.
Yeah, this guy he just said we're fouling up three, no questions asked, and maybe it would have been better served to like assess that Nikola Jokic is not on the floor.
Also, just
Or
fouling.
that there's 10 seconds left and
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon has the ball 90 feet from the basket.
Which is crazy because they took Jokic off the floor with 5 fouls the possession before because they wanted him off. Like they didn't want him to commit the foul. The Thunder run a perfect sideline out of bounds play to get Shea basically a walk-in layup, and then they can't get Jokic back in because there's no foul. Like the Nuggets fucked up there, and then you just let them kind of like right back in.
There was a contest last night to make some picks at DraftKings in Scottsdale, and it was pick 10 things, and one of them was will Nikola Jokic have over 50? No, hold on, let me make sure I get the math right. Like 54 points, rebounds, and assists.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? He just played. He just played in Game 7. He's going to be tired.
He's going to be tired.
They're going to might get run out of the building here.
They're going to mail it in.
He might rest in the fourth quarter because they're down 20. So I'm going to say, no, he's not going. This motherfucker had 42 points, 22 rebounds, and 6 assists.
Mm-hmm.
That's 70.
That's 70.
That's 70.
Yeah.
That's a shit ton.
Yeah.
And the rest of his team, like Murray wasn't great last night. Michael Porter Jr. was nothing. Aaron Gordon was good. Aaron Gordon's really good. And then he just fucking, and now he's coaching them.
Yeah.
Did you see him yelling at him
Jokic?
in the
Yeah.
fucking in the huddle? He's calling the huddle. He's the one telling them where to go in the huddle.
Connor, you had a good one. You had a good one before the show. I'll let you say it.
Well, I didn't come up with it, but the people online were calling him Coachich. Nikola Coachich. That's what they said. But he was very frustrated for a good part of that game. You could tell that maybe the Thunder defense was getting to him, but then he winds up with 42 and 22.
Can
Crazy.
I say something as a big Jokic guy?
I think you're going to say what I'm going to say. I think we
He's
might
got-
be aligned on
okay.
this. So
Well,
you say, because I have something I would like to say as well.
3, 2, 1. He's got that Draymond in him.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I was going to say I was going to say At what point can we stop doing the Jokic doesn't care about basketball and just wants to get out of here and go back to his horses thing?
I think it probably ends with stuff like this.
I think he might care about basketball.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think he might give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll throw another thing out there that maybe has gotten a little bit too tired, because I saw a lot of people last night using that game as why the fuck is Shea the leader for MVP and why isn't it Jokic?
Yeah.
It was only game 1.
It's true.
There are other games in this series.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
Sure.
That's also a regular season award.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes guys who are just dreadful and abysmal in the postseason will win the MVP. And and as we're giving them the trophy, we all know that this is a farce.
We all know.
Yeah,
We should
we're
have
all
given
just
it
like
to Jokic.
we're all like we probably should have given.
We've
this
been
to
here
Jokic.
before.
Yeah, we know this is going to age poorly, but
Yeah.
our hands are tied. We
Yeah.
have to give it to him.
And were our hands tied though? We knew we shouldn't give it to Jokic the last couple
Well,
years.
we didn't give it.
We didn't give it. No,
We
If
wouldn't.
we had a vote.
Yeah, we
it would have
certainly
gone to the rightful person, not a fuck. What was the word? How do you describe that guy? I want to say gum. No.
Yeah. I do agree. James Harden should not have won that MVP a couple years back.
Bum.
Bum.
Same with
Bum.
Giannis.
He's a
Giannis.
He's a bum.
The Thunder have no answer. I mean, few teams do for Jokic, but they're really in a tough spot.
Yeah, I guess
They're really in a tough spot.
You just keep throwing Hartenstein and Holmgren at him and hope it pays off.
Is Chet Holmgren the least intimidating player in the history of the NBA?
In the history of the NBA, the least intimidating player in the history of the NBA.
I feel like he's gonna break.
The guy's legs, are tiny.
I feel like he's gonna snap. I feel like he's gonna shatter. There's gonna be pieces of Chet everywhere.
Well, you're no longer invited to the Oxtail Thanksgiving, that's for sure.
What's the Oxtail Thanksgiving?
Have you ever seen the clip of Chet Holmgren talking about his favorite Thanksgiving dishes? And he's like, collard greens, oxtail.
Oh God!
You've never seen that clip?
No, I never seen that. I do. I would like to see that. What?
It's so funny.
And explain to the audience why it's funny, Bo.
Cranberry slices, just for the looks, yeah. The aesthetic, it'll look good.
Oxtails, ribs, cornbread, greens,
ham. This is ideal Thanksgiving plates.
Oxtail. What do I think of Thanksgiving?
The Thunder are a little bit of a meme team to me. Did you see Jalen Williams last night after the game trying to redo Torian Prince Yale?
Oh, they'll go up and get a rebound?
Yeah, he literally was like doing the he's like, someone asked him like how they got out rebounded. He's like, well, you got to go up and get the
Go up with 2 hands and grab that. Don't stand and watch. Box out again, and when you go up and you jump, you should grab it. Box.
Yeah.
He even has the cadence of.
It feels like the exact same.
Yeah.
He's trying to recreate the meme. It's just like
clip farming. As Jack.
You just lost a heartbreaking game 1.
Clip farming after blowing a 10-point lead late in the game would destroy me as a fan. I don't know that it would destroy me. It would just probably be a mild nuisance.
This would be 30 to 45 minutes on Philadelphia Sports Talk Radio.
That's a different animal entirely, Connor.
Yeah.
That's
one thing about fandom. I wanted to get your take on this. I love when Oklahoma City does the blue shirts in the playoffs, and they blew out the crowd. Yesterday they did that dark gray, and I didn't like it. Why are you guys laughing?
It blew out the crowd.
Blew out the crowd.
The whole crowd.
It didn't look good on TV to me. I didn't like the dark gray.
PFT he tweeted it, but it was a bad T-shirt game from the crowd. I think the crowd should be in bright colors myself. I think they should be in white. I think they should be in something
yellow pops.
Or your team, whatever your brightest team color is, they should be in that. Dark, it just makes it look like a movie theater. It makes it look like it's theater lighting and all that stuff. It didn't look great. It made the crowd disappear a little bit. You need the crowd to fucking pop.
Yeah.
The Dallas Stars this postseason, they've had the best one.
I agree.
Their games look fucking incredible. Like they're turned up to 11, and nobody else's games look like theirs. And the way they light it, the way they T-shirt
they got
it,
in the arena. They got the fucking, that's like the new age thing, like the little lights like on the on the seats and on the railings and stuff. And then they got
shit everywhere.
They can like pop those lights on. You know what I'm saying? You boys know what I'm saying.
Crowd can get blew out every now and then.
What are the Cavs wearing? What are those shirts? We talk about the Pacers Cavs by the way?
Oh yeah, we can.
How about those motherfucking Indiana Pacers, man?
Listen, man.
How about those motherfucking Indiana Pacers?
There was a time last year I thought they would become one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the NBA. They didn't really do that this year. They didn't really take a step forward in the regular season. But they're fucking good.
They figured out late game situations.
They figured
too.
that out. Yeah.
Like last year, I mean, I'm kind of joking, but kind of serious. Like the Celtics series, they got swept, but
every game was
like
in the
right
last 2
there,
minutes,
and it's
yeah.
like, you know, if you could figure out how to not shit down your leg, like you're
I think
you're
Tyrese
right
has
there.
gotten better at it.
And they've gotten so much better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they close games well, but they're still the same up tempo team and very hard to guard. They had, I think, 7 or 8. I think it was 8. 8 guys made 3 or more field goals for the Pacers.
They're one
if
of
that
those.
makes sense. They had, which is a stat that might not sound that awesome, but if you really think about it, you had 8 different players score 3 times while they're out there. It's fucking crazy.
They're one of those teams where 5 guys share the basketball, and it doesn't really matter to any of the 5 who shoots.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most dangerous team. I think that's the most fun team to watch. I think the Prime Warriors were like that. Well, the Warriors are like that now, but I think that's my favorite style of basketball is when all 5 can shoot it and all 5 don't care who shoots it, and it just goes around and around and around. And Tyrese is such an unselfish star, but I think he's learned to take over games a little bit better than he used to.
They're playing defense down the stretch too.
Yeah.
Like the Cavs had the Cavs were playing kind of entitled basketball down the stretch where they just assumed
entitled.
Yeah, entitled is the way I would describe it.
All right.
When you're down, you see a team that's down and down 10, and you're like, I'm just gonna get a quick 2 here and carve into the lead, and then we'll try to, get a steal and what.
I'm just trying to see where entitled comes in.
I
like the term.
Okay, entitled. All right.
Yeah.
Entitled
Break
in the
this down
sense that,
for me.
like, all right, you're watching a game late. The game's kind of over. The team's up 8 with 2 minutes left. Whatever. The team that's down is like, we know they're gonna let us score. We know they're gonna let us score.
Okay.
Because
All right.
we are entitled to score here because, like, this is how the song and dance works at the end of these games.
They're not trying to
Like,
force action.
They don't want to foul us.
Yeah.
They don't want to. They just want to make sure they run some clock off, and then we're gonna foul them. They're gonna go to the free throw line. This is what the song and dance is going to be. And Ty Jerome was one of the plays that stood out to me, where he just kind of put his head down, ran into the defense, and was like, "I'm just gonna get the quick 2 real quick." And the Pacers were like, "Fuck you, no, you're not.
Nothing
No,
easy
no,
around here,
nothing
Playboy."
easy." And they did that like 3 or 4 possessions down the stretch, where the Cavs thought we're just gonna get these quick points. And they thought they were entitled to the points. Does that work for you?
That works.
That works?
It worked. It worked for me when I didn't know the explanation. I just like the term.
Yeah. And the Pacers playing great defense. The Pacers.
Nerd.
Question for you.
Nerd alert.
And this is about to get personal, Mark. Are you worried? Are you officially on 40 Waffle Watch?
For my Pacers, they would be the happiest 40 waffles I've ever eaten. I am a diehard Pacers fan. So it's the only NBA team I care about. I fucking love them. And if they win the championship, I'll be over the moon, Ebo. So I would love it if they won the championship. I'm a diehard fan.
Yes, stupid.
And
also,
I
we
want
have
it to be them.
We have
Only
some
them.
40 food to deal with.
So I
Connor got it.
I think after further review, Brandon does not have to eat 40.
Mine's not hot dogs. It's pigs in a blanket.
Yeah.
Pigs in a blanket.
So if you look here at the race, there goes your hot dog winning the race. But if you look here, there's a hot dog with mustard on it.
Yeah, and this one's encased.
I think this is clearly and fairly a pig in a blanket.
That's a pig in a blanket, and the pig in the blanket did win. So
there's a hot dog right there.
I got to be honest. We don't have to do any fuss, any circumstance here. I'll just probably maybe one day just
do it
on the show. Just
Brandon might do it without even realizing he's doing
it. There's a chance we don't have to make this a thing at all. I might just do it. So I'll just
Brandon might forget that he's supposed to do it, and we'll just like call it out and be like, Brandon, is that 8 pigs in a blanket you just ate? He's like, oh fuck, I guess I'm already on my way.
I might accidentally do it one day, and then y'all just have to tell me that I've already done it. I don't know, but I'll knock that out during the show one day, no problem. Don't worry about that.
Cavs,
man.
how do you feel about the diff?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Their shirts, the diff shirts.
Crazy.
What is that?
And I'm diff.
Are you familiar?
What?
Do you know what the diff is?
The difference.
Zach Lowe had
Right. So
the difference.
They've on their broadcast have instead of just using your brain and subtracting the score from each other. Each team score from each other. They've been putting it on the broadcast all year long. And it's all about the diff.
I got it.
And
so this is like an inside thing.
And then it's like, you're the diff. Be the diff.
Oh, so how?
If you've been watching the Cavs all year on whatever what channel? Is it like Bally Sports?
Yeah.
Is that what these local channels are?
Yeah.
Sportsbook TV.
Yeah, competitor Sportsbook TV.
I didn't even know that was.
Well, it's not even.
I didn't know that that's.
It's not Bally anymore either.
Well, that's fine.
I didn't know that that's even what their.
Yeah, that's what it
was.
is now.
I just thought it was.
It's crazy.
How are we in 2025 and locals watching local teams has gotten dramatically harder than it was 30 years ago?
Yeah.
Brandon, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
So you've been watching those games though. That's been like a constant thing as they
The
pop
diff.
up, the diff. So the Cavs fans are probably like all about the diff, and the rest of us are like, "What the fuck is the diff?"
Did they have the biggest diff in NBA? I assume they did. They blew out a lot of teams.
Let's see.
I think they were plus 10 a game.
That's a good diff.
That's a good diff.
That's a
good,
real
strong
good
diff.
It's a hell of a diff. I'd say the Thunder
Plus
probably
9.5
The
a
Thunder
game.
have the best diff.
Yeah, they set the record for diff.
Thunder. Well, why aren't they doing the diff?
They mega diff. They went 12.9.
Holy fuck!
Mega
dude.
diff.
Oh fuck! You're gonna make me diff.
Dude, if the Thunder had mega diff shirts,
Mega diff.
that'd be awesome.
Thunder.
I wonder who had little baby diff.
Thunder Cavs, and we get a
You want me to find the
diff off in
smallest
the
diff?
Who
finals.
had the little baby diff?
Oh.
Is Thunder Cavs? By the way,
Smallest diff was the Orlando Magic. They were minus 0.1.
Ah.
oh my god,
And then the
Tiny
Kings
little
were
diff.
plus 0.4.
Little bitch diff.
is Thunder
Plenty
when
of
the,
diff.
when the Thunder play the Cavs? Was that the meet off?
Yes,
Is
yes.
that the?
Donovan
right?
Mitchell.
How do you
Yeah.
not know this, Connor?
It's a Skims thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want it to be the diff off, but they already have a name for it, right?
Well, why don't y'all
The meet off.
tell those of us who don't know what the meet off is?
Darius
Yeah.
Garland and Donovan Mitchell both did Skims ads.
Yeah.
And people were making, or Shea, so whatever, they were making references to the outline
Bulge.
of each player's
Penis.
diff.
Penis.
Yeah.
Diff.
And they called it the meet off.
Uh-huh.
And it was referenced in a post-game interview.
Well, who won? Did we?
Who won the meet off?
Yeah, who won
I
the
don't
meat
know.
off? If they're gonna have a
It's
meet off,
ongoing. The meet off never ends, man.
Facts. Yo, shout out Skims. Yo, you wanna give a shout out to Skims? Okay, bet. The meet off. Thanks, Darius. All right.
appreciate it, Darius.
Darius. The meet off.
Going from meet off to thanks Darius is funny.
All right, thank you, Derek.
all right, man. Can I tell you about Steven Singer Jewelers?
Please do.
Mother's Day. Oh God, Mother's Day is this Sunday.
Sunday.
Wow.
Sunday.
Wow.
Sunday.
How often do you call your mom? Every day, or just on special occasions, or once in a blue moon? Steven Singer Jewelers wants to help you tell the moms in your life every single day how appreciated they are with this brand new limited edition Blue Moon 24-karat gold dip rose for Mother's Day. Picture it, a brilliantly bright blue rose with diamond-like sparkles. Skip flowers from the supermarket that die in a week. Steven Singer Jewelers' signature gold-dipped American Beauty roses are real long-stem roses dipped in real 24-karat gold and are guaranteed for life. They arrive in an impressive gift box with your own personalized Mother's Day card. Go right now to IHateStevenSinger.com. Don't miss out on free shipping to arrive on time. Hurry, this may be your last chance to get Steven's brand new Blue Moon Gold Dip Rose. They won't be restocked. Nothing says I love you like a real, authentic Steven Singer 24-karat gold dip rose that lasts forever. Only available at Steven Singer Jewelers. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. Order now online at IHateStevenSinger.com or from Steven Singer Jewelers in Philly. Now, Mark.
There's your graphic.
Outmeated.
Oh, he got outmeated.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
There's your for reference. This was the original tweet that went viral. We outmeated Shea.
Oh.
Really did.
By blowout.
Blowout outmeated.
You think that's
What's the diff on this
Not even,
meeting?
not even close. What?
I think that
It leads me to
might be angles, dude.
It has to be angles. What's Shea working with over there?
Might be Photoshop.
Yeah, Shea's probably touched up a little bit. Then
I'll just say
no. I'd say Shea. Shea's is gone.
Shea's is gone.
That's
Ray
way
is-
that's a Ken
Donovan
doll.
Mitchell was enhanced.
That's way too flat of a bulge for. That's way too flat. That's definitely.
I mean, they're flat bulges out there. We can't. Can't deny that.
I suppose.
After he lost the meat off.
NBA is the best Twitter.
Even if Shea goes on to win a championship and an MVP, losing the meat off is that's tough.
That's legacy.
I mean, and again, it wasn't even close.
Big asterisk on the MVP and championship season if you lost the meat off in the same season. Is it fair to say the NBA playoffs are wide open? Do you believe that every single team could theoretically win the championship? I guess the Pacers probably. Who has the worst odds, the Pacers or the Knicks?
So we let me just all right. Knicks, Pacers, Cavs, Celtics, Thunder, Nuggets, Wolves, Warriors.
Yeah.
I don't see the Wolves winning it. Is that fair?
Thunder are still plus 175 favorites. Celtics are plus 210, and then it goes Cavs 5-1, Wolves 11-1, Nuggets 18-1, Warriors 18-1, Knicks 30-1, Pacers 35-1.
So it's Knicks and Pacers are the two.
Oh, God,
They're both up a game.
I kind of like Pacers 35-1. I mean, I think they're really good. I think the Knicks are that team that can beat somebody who can win the championship but can't win the championship.
Yeah,
I think they can fuck up somebody else.
Really hard for someone else, maybe.
Yeah. I think they could fuck up the Celtics and then run out of gas against somebody down the road.
But what if this thing just gets blown wide open? What if it's what if the game one results hold and we get Knicks, Pacers, and
that'd be awesome.
Both Nuggets versus a 6 or a 7 seed on the West.
Yeah.
At that point,
I mean, then
have to believe.
But there's no true 6-7 seeds in the West this year. I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
It was all like one.
2 through
one
7
was
was about the
separated,
same.
but then everybody else was about the same.
Yeah. Both teams that lost last night, both double-digit underdogs tomorrow.
No.
Double-digit favorites.
Both teams that won
last night are
Sorry.
double-digit underdogs.
Double-digit underdogs.
Yeah. Which makes sense, You feel like maybe.
Well, they were both
bigger underdogs
last night.
They're bigger underdogs tomorrow than they were last night.
But you said it earlier. I thought that the Nuggets. It just made so much sense. The Nuggets were going to punt game 1 and then go after game 2. And make that the game they were trying to steal. So for them to steal game 1, fuck.
To do it the way they did,
fuck.
Like they
do it the way they did.
It seemed like at times you were in punt territory. It seemed like I think they had that run in the second quarter where they ran from like it was a tie game and then they were up 11 just like that, and you think, okay, well here it goes, and it doesn't go, and they just hang around, and then they snipe them.
The roller coaster of emotions with the Nuggets and Russell Westbrook as an individual, but the team as a whole is it's impossible to figure out like if they're dialed in at times. No lead is really safe. I was in Colorado over the weekend watching Game 7 with a bunch of Nuggets fans, and they're up by like 35, and all of them are like seriously like we could fuck this up.
Yeah,
we've seen this team fuck up, and I was like, you guys are probably fine at 35. If it was 25, maybe, but. I'm thinking you're going to win this game. But because of all of the ups and downs, you do forget that maybe you don't forget, but like one, Jokic is fucking awesome, but like the core four has won a title not that long ago. It was 2 years ago, and they're all seemingly inconsistent, and Murray is inconsistent, and Michael Porter Jr. is hurt, and even when he's not hurt, he's inconsistent. But then they put it all together, and you're like, maybe we shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it's absolutely in there still.
We thought the depth would be a problem. You thought,
coach,
fire a coach, and
that's the signs. Still crazy that they fired.
All the signs were there that the Nuggets would just not have a good playoff showing this year, and so far so good.
Where are you at on NBA coaches? Are you does Jokic like kind of taking over after losing GM head coach kind of lean into the fact that like NBA coaches maybe don't matter, or do you think coaching matters even more now? Because like they just fired him and it changed everything.
I don't think it matters. I mean, it matters to some extent, but not really
on the margins, maybe. But
like
are the Lakers with JJ Redick and Darvin Ham like is that big a difference?
I mean, if you're looking at end results of the seasons, no, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like what JJ Redick is a massive upgrade, and what the Lakers get for it. First round, same result. First round exit.
Nothing.
Not a goddamn thing.
Nothing.
I don't. I mean, of course they matter, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's got to be. What coach matters the least? Like a baseball manager?
At this point, probably
because it's just you're just running an algorithm.
Yeah, you're
basically for every decision is just like some computer somewhere is telling you.
I think your only job is
Wasn't
literally like practice slapping your guys on the ass, or, like knowing when to slap your guys on the ass. But, like out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be so good at that. I know exactly when to slap a man on the ass. Hello? Why did this conversation stop at that?
When or how?
I'm just thinking.
All of it.
All of it.
I'm a great ass slapper.
Yeah. What did you want us to say? Were you hoping we would?
I'm a great male ass. I thought you guys would say, yeah, me too. I love slapping ass.
I was processing what you just said.
That feels like a game that you have to stay in. So like if you were coach, if you play and then you go immediately into coaching, you can be the slap the ass guy. Yeah. But if you like take a break and then like you're coaching again, I feel like that's a hard world to get back into.
Y'all do some ass slapping
right now?
I don't know.
All right.
Maybe afterwards, after the show.
In the outro song.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do a good games handshake line.
Slap ass challenge.
Do one of these.
Can you slap ass in corporate America or no? Probably not. Almost certainly not. Right. But like,
is that an HR violation here?
We need it, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's good team building.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with getting ass slapped by another man.
Ass slapping, yeah.
All right, Mark, I got to ask you a question. I'm changing gears here a little bit.
Okay.
If you were Mark Titus, you're an individual, you're a person, you're a man, okay? Mm-hmm. If, I don't know, 2 years ago you were accused of a crime.
Oh, boy.
And everybody saw you do the crime. Everybody knows you did the crime. Everybody watched the results around you as the crime benefited you. And then you said, no, I did not commit that crime. I am not a crime committer. Fuck you. I did not do it. And then all your friends who helped commit the crime, well, for whatever reason, they all just left. They went to other places to do their own stuff. And they said, we will stand by this man forever. Also, I'm leaving.
Get out of the country.
And I don't want to talk. Don't ever talk to me again.
Right.
And then your boss, who adamantly said the whole time, Mark didn't do this crime. Mark did not do this crime, and we're going to fight these allegations. Also, quick note, I'm going to Florida because I got to get out of here. And then yesterday, you come out and say, by the way, remember that crime I didn't commit? I'm going to go ahead and just put myself in jail for a couple hours. I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, I didn't commit it. I never did anything.
I didn't do it, but you seem to think that I did it.
Right.
So
I'm going to go ahead.
Be the bigger man.
Give me the keys to the jail.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you a weekend day. I'm not going to give you my best days. I'm going to give you like a Tuesday and Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go to jail for 2 days, and then that'll be it. That's it. That the crime is taken care of.
It's not an admission of guilt. It's just it's something I feel like I should do.
Right.
I was going to do it anyway.
So what do you think about that scenario as far as being a crime committer? Does that all make sense to you?
That would be certainly a bizarre pattern of behavior. That would I imagine onlookers might scratch their head and say that doesn't quite add up.
Are there still Michigan fans that are fighting like we didn't do nothing?
I have no idea. I don't know where they're at this point with the.
So yesterday, Michigan announces Sharon Moore will be self-imposing a two-game suspension. Now naturally they're just he's gonna get suspended the first 2 games of the season. No, I tell you, they're gonna self-suspend for games 3 and 4,
which is traditionally what you do.
Right, it's 2 bottom feeders. They're playing. I don't know who the first one is, but the second one's Nebraska. So. Bottom feeders.
Central Michigan, I think.
Central Michigan, yeah.
Nebraska.
Now, he will be able to coach against Oklahoma, according to this. As the Rats have scurried, Jim Harbaugh leaves after building a national championship roster. He just says, you know what? I just built this team up to –
At my alma mater, I finally climbed to the top of the mountain.
I'm going to go ahead and jump off the mountain
I want to go coach the Chargers now.
Yeah, I want to go coach the Chargers. And
I finally accomplished everything I've set out to accomplish, and everything is perfect, and it's set up.
Yeah.
For me to have the perfect life,
yeah,
I'm going to go coach the Chargers.
Everybody remembers when Saban built Alabama up right back to national championship. He said the first thing he did was he left.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody leaves, and they leave Sharon Moore holding the bag, and he's just standing there. And I got this bag now, and now they're gonna self suspend 2 games. It's not gonna.
I think the Michigan
The hammer's coming is what I'm trying to say.
I think the Michigan fan perspective is probably
it was all worth it.
You gotta. Well, right now, I think their attitude has to be, I can't believe you're still talking about. Like, if you're trying to be defensive about it, you would just be like, "Oh, this again?
Yeah.
Oh,
why do you guys care so much?
Why are you guys talking about it? Why do you guys keep? Why won't you?
Yeah.
Why won't you just let it be?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Those games are in the past.
We're still on this shit. Come on.
What are you talking about?
Just because we announced that we're suspending our coach,
so you think that's
to talk about?
That's where they are now. Why? Just indifference. Like this. What?
This isn't that big of a deal. I can't believe you guys. That has to be the only.
So the next step is, no matter what comes down, year-long suspension or Sharon Moore gets fired or whatever it is, it was all worth it. That's
it was all worth it. Yeah.
Because that's probably the answer. It probably was all worth it.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. It was all worth it.
They won a national title.
You guys are right. It was worth it to them, but yeah. When is the NCAA supposed to drop whatever hammer may or may not exist?
You never know with the NCAA. The NCAA could rule next week. They could rule in 2032.
The signs are there that they might drop the hammer, but if you're counting on the NCAA to have any sort of power over anything, I think that's
That's kind of what the NCAA does best. What they do is the looming hammer is always worse than the hammer that they use.
Exactly right.
And they have no time frame, and they'll let that hammer loom over you to where Michigan pretty much takes care of itself because, like I said, everybody's left. Yeah. Everybody's gone. Sharon Moore's the only one still there. The university president takes a step down to go to Florida. Like, these things aren't happening by accident. So the NCAA just uses the hammer over their head. Everything kind of fixes itself on the ground, and then the hammer they drop down is like a feather.
And even if they do drop a weighty hammer, the schools just say no. They just say no. We're gonna go ahead and challenge that, and then they get the punishment to a situation that they like, and then everyone moves forward. And you're like, that was kind of underwhelming. That's kind of how it works.
What do you think Michigan will be in position if a big hammer did come? Would they be in position to fight it? Because it will be a new administration, new president, new everything. So if the team is like, no, we didn't do these things, or we don't deserve this stuff. If you didn't deserve it, why did everybody vamoose? Why did everybody get the fuck out?
They'll figure out if this Michigan football season is going well, they will challenge everything, kick the can down the road, which is kind of what they did with the national championship season. Like they kind of realized we have something going here. Let's not fuck this up. If it's not going well, they'll just be like, oh, okay, yeah, go ahead and hammer us this year.
Yeah.
We'll take the bowl ban this year.
I think they'll eventually self-fire. They'll be like, oh, you know what? Sharon Moore was the last guy tied to this. We're going to go ahead and fire him. That's what he was left there to be the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
And that's what he's going to
do. No official report on when the NCAA investigation is going to come through, but New York Times bestselling author from Ann Arbor, John U. Bacon, says it looks like the wheels are finally turning on the NCAA investigation into Michigan's sign gate. I just wanted to say that.
John U. Bacon.
I looked up.
That's his name?
John U. Bacon.
U is a terrible middle initial.
John.
U is the worst middle initial.
What is U?
John U.
Why
Bacon?
Ulysses?
It's got to be. What else?
Ugath?
What else?
Yeah, probably
related to Ugath Urbina?
Utini.
Ursula?
I knew an Ursula.
Is there like another John Bacon out there that we need?
Yeah,
to do?
there's a terrible one.
There's a bad.
Oh,
this is
really?
the bad John Bacon.
There's a John Bacon who's an umpire who looks like Syndrome from.
Well, now I gotta see him.
Hold on.
John Bacon, the umpire.
John Bacon,
looks
the
like Syndrome?
sculptor. How many John Bacons we got?
There's a lot of John Bacons. God,
oh, shit.
Sculptor.
I stand corrected. He does need the U.
Bacon Thorpe.
Can I see John Bacon, the umpire?
He's the one that
but hold on, that's John Bacon U. John Bacon umpire. That's confusing.
I'm not seeing Syndrome.
Find the picture of him with his hat off.
That one in the middle looks like the one that says John Bacon 70. I feel like might.
A little bit, yeah. He got a Syndrome jaw.
He also his hair when he takes the.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a very good one.
When he takes his hat off, he looks like a fucking asshole.
It's like a fucking.
He screwed the Orioles over.
It's like a fucking. What's the word?
It's like Jeff D. Lowe.
Word I'm looking for ass.
Jeff D. Lowe if he hadn't got a haircut in 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's officially the best time of year for hoops fans. Playoff drama, buzzer beaters, all the chaos we live for. And if you're done watching and ready to actually, if you're done just watching, I should say, and ready to actually win some cash, you gotta check out Pick Six from DraftKings. Nobody's dropping their payout. I can't read today. Nobody's dropping better payouts than Pick Six. Hit 6 picks, and that's 25x your cash. And if you beat your competition, you could be looking at a 500x bag in your pocket. It's super simple. Select your picks, track your score, and go for those big-time prizes. No gimmicks, just straight-up fun. Pick Six is live in most states like Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and plenty more. So, yeah, don't settle for weak payouts. Make your picks with Pick Six and let your basketball brain pay off. New to DraftKings Pick Six. New customers toss in just $5 on your first entry, and you'll get $50 in bonus picks instantly. The playoffs are on, so why not take a shot at making a little money while you're watching? Download the DraftKings Pick Six app right now and use code FAMILY. That's code FAMILY. Play $5, get $50 in bonus picks, better payouts, bigger wins, only on Pick Six from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
I found what the EU stands for.
Okay, what?
Underhill.
Underhill?
Hold on. Is this guy's entire name just a joke to his parents? John Underhill Bacon?
Huh?
John Underhill Bacon.
And he was hesitant to reveal.
John Toilet Pork.
So he has
John
2
Bacon.
last names.
Underhill Bacon.
That's not a middle name.
If you can believe it.
And this guy's just the insider. He's the Michigan insider.
Has he been a Michigan staunch defender throughout this process? Like the NCAA's got nothing, or this is all sour grapes, or whatever. Has he been one of those guys?
Unsure.
I need all the John U. Bacon
John U.
lore.
Bacon. Yeah, the lore.
We're on John U. Bacon right
he?
now.
I did get a text. I won't say
from John U. Bacon.
No, somebody is a big time hater of this guy.
Tate?
No, not Tate.
Is it a Michigan man?
It is not somebody who is a Michigan man. No.
So how would we possibly?
Somebody is a big time hater of this guy.
Somebody. What is that? What is that logo?
Somebody listening to the show already said.
Is that a goat or like a torch? What is that logo?
Huh? Wait, he's the real life Ted Lasso?
Hold on.
Or is he telling the story of the real Ted Lasso?
Himself as a terrible hockey player, somehow taking the country's worst
How do we
high
get
school
here?
team
What?
all the way
John Bacon.
to first place. Echoes of the popular Ted Lasso TV show, and now sharing those lessons he and his team etched out on the ice.
You may have heard of bad hockey teams, but dead last, really? Man, they had teams from Arizona and California ahead of us. Come on, man. We have ice right every month better than those guys.
My book is called Let Them Lead, Unexpected Lessons in Leadership from America's Worst High School Hockey Team. True story. In 2000, I took over the Ann Arbor Huron River Rats. The team was 0-22-3.
The River
worst team
Rats.
in America, according to some measures. And who coaches them but yours truly, John Bacon, and for you non-sports fans out there. The 0 is where the wins go. So they had not won a game in a year and a half. The first order of business when I arrived was to change the attitude. So the first thing I did was send out a letter to all the incoming players.
Freeze it right here. Freeze it right. So what happened was he took over a high school team that was going to get better players. Like better players were coming into the system.
Yeah,
better players were. He just had a rotten group, a rotten class, a bad class, and then he got better players, and now he wrote a fucking book about it.
About high school hockey.
Connor, stop talking to the code. Who doesn't like John U. Bacon?
Blake.
Why would you hide that fact?
He said some other stuff. He's not a fan of John U. Bacon. But I didn't know.
I'm not a fan of John.
Exactly. I was gonna say I didn't know if we wanted to be fans of John U. Bacon.
No.
Or that Blake was, and then we were. Okay.
Come on,
you got to tell us if Blake ever says, stop on a guy or pause on a guy, we're gonna stop.
Okay, yeah.
We're not.
He does not like John U. Bacon.
What's the rat?
That's the Ann Arbor River Rats.
What? And this is the guy that's
John U. Bacon, the real Ted Lasso.
He's the real Ted Lasso is also a Michigan.
Hold on, this motherfucker coached a high school hockey team back in the day. He saw Ted Lasso go on TV and be a success, and he said, "Well, I'm kind of that. I'm gonna be that.
I did that.
And he wrote a. God damn it!
There's
All
the
right.
logo.
It's kind of
Bad logo.
What?
all right.
No, I'm stuck on this logo.
All right.
The logo.
That's up.
The school is shaped like an H. This is an H.
Time out.
H.
The school is an H. Oh, I guess there's a lot of schools that are shaped like that.
My middle school is shaped like an eagle.
No, it's not.
Your middle school is shaped.
That's
like
what they
an
always
eagle.
said, but
Your middle school shaped like an eagle.
But it wasn't really.
I'd like to see it.
All right.
What the building?
Yeah.
There's just simply no way.
I'd like to see.
I'm sniffing
If there's
Kizzy.
any schools built like their mascot, I'd like to see all of them.
I'm sniffing Kizzy on.
Also,
How
we
would
had
you build an eagle?
We had a weird. There it is. I went to 4th and 5th.
I mean,
there. That's what they would always be like. Good, you know the school's shaped like an eagle, right? Because we're the Eagles.
All right,
what?
Where? Okay. Where do they see an eagle?
I'm kind of seeing a bird. I'm seeing.
How
a
you
bird.
seeing a bird?
Go
Hold
back.
on.
Go back. I'm seeing the bird.
Hold up.
Y'all seeing the bird?
Wing.
Those
wing head.
It's like he's holding wings.
It looks more like a bee, though.
I also went to 4th and 5th grade there, and then 6th, 7th, and 8th in this school, and then high school across the street.
Oh, that school's built like an otter.
Yeah, this school was built by the same people that build jails.
All schools.
Yeah, so
You know, we should really talk about schools in this country because our schools, a lot of our school buildings suck. They're just boring brick, flat structures. They're just bad school buildings.
I
get electrified when I see a good school building.
The fucking what's the one?
The one on 10 Things I Hate About You.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's the one.
That's
right
the
out,
best
it's
school.
like Tacoma.
That's the best school in the world.
Tacoma, Washington.
I think is it Tacoma or just Seattle?
I don't know.
Do the 10 Things I Hate About You high school. That fucking school and that fucking football stadium with the where he comes down singing the song on the.
I thought it was like a suburb of Seattle. I thought it was more Tacoma.
It might be. It might
It's
be.
General area. It's all the same, right? It's all the same to
high school in the movie 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah,
Stadium
Tacoma,
High School in Tacoma.
Washington.
There, you nailed that one.
Yeah. What a high school.
What a high school. Look at that. Look at the far
Look at
right.
that.
No, wait. Get off. That one. Look at that.
Look at that shit.
Look at that. Oh, my
Can you
God.
imagine?
That is unbelievable.
Can you fucking imagine?
Look,
Go to school there.
I like how they put the bleachers like, you know what, this football kind of sucks. We're going to turn it so you can see the water.
Harry Potter looking school.
Is that still a high school?
I always wanted to go to the
It's fucking
Zoe 101 school, and then I just found out it was Pepperdine.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that makes sense.
In Malibu?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably be a sweet-looking school.
We got to turn around the American education system.
We really do.
And it starts with the buildings.
Starts with the build. I think it does.
We got to get cool-ass buildings.
And even when they build them now, they still build the same boring-ass brick structures that are the flat roofs and everything. Yeah, just get funky with your schools, man.
Were you open air hallways? Like, could you walk outside to go between buildings in class? Like, is Mississippi like that? Like, you know how in like Los Angeles they'll have like high school.
Yeah, I was always jealous of that.
Yeah.
No,
watching
like in the movies. And
you're watching like the OC, and they're just like walking around campus outside.
Yeah.
Stadium high school.
We had
I was so jealous of that.
by my senior year we had a two-campus high school. We had a junior high and then a high school, and then they just made the whole thing North Campus and South Campus. So if I'd had five classes on the South Campus, but then one time I had to go to North Campus. So that was walking across the football field, and that was nice. But otherwise, no.
They used to let everyone just go outside of my high school, and then the
it stopped.
DC sniper.
I'll tell you how old I am. There was a smoking room in my high school.
Smoking room
Yeah.
in high school.
The seniors could smoke, yeah.
That's cool.
Seniors could go outside and smoke. It
Having
wasn't a smoking room. It was an area.
Having your locker outdoors must have just been the coolest thing. All the Southern California kids.
I think lockers are getting
so jealous.
phased
of that.
out. I don't think.
I didn't
think we're
use
doing
a lot. I didn't
lockers
really use a lot. I remember
I was never assigned a locker.
the first day
Really?
having a locker, and I don't think I ever visited a locker again.
Huh?
In middle school, it was required we used the locker.
I used them in like 5th,
That's
6th,
like
and 7th grade, but in the high school, I just would leave my books in my car, and I would go.
In middle school, you couldn't have
You
your
go to your
backpack.
car like
Yeah.
in between periods.
Yeah, I think so, or just bring in whatever I had.
Huh? That's crazy.
My
Maybe
school-
I'm like,
get 5
was this
minutes.
like were lockers just a millennial thing?
Did you guys have lockers like through hallways? Because we had what they called locker bays, which were grouped by grade, where basically it was like a big open area with like a bunch of lockers, more like locker roomy, like a gym. And then you would go to your locker bay and you kind of congregate with your grade and stuff like that.
That's like a core. That's a core high school thing to me. Was going to the locker in between periods.
I think I had one 8th and 9th grade.
You wanted to have your locker by the court. Like if your locker wasn't by all your friends' lockers, you're like, fuck me, dude. And you figure out. Sometimes you just switch lockers with someone.
That might be what I
like. Take mine. I'm gonna take yours.
I think I got a bad locker, and that soured me on lockers. I was in a satellite hall away from everybody else. So it's 10th grade. I had a tall locker. I had a tall locker.
Yeah.
And then 11th grade, there was an up and a down.
People weren't like decorating the outside of their lockers and shit.
No, we didn't do that.
Oh my god,
we didn't do that.
This was is anybody?
We didn't decorate.
Really?
Middle school was required. You couldn't have a backpack in the hallways. High school you could, so everybody had a backpack in the hallways.
That might be what.
But that's too many books in a
Carry
backpack.
their shit on with them.
You just that's.
I also had
too many books.
I had in high
hurt your back.
In high school, we had we had I don't know what you call it, but I would have math, English, and history one day. We had 2-hour classes, and the next day I would have 3 more classes, 2 hours.
A block, B block, yeah.
Yeah. So we had that. So I never was carrying that many books.
Yeah.
No,
we had A, B, C, D.
I already had scoliosis, so the books really didn't matter. You just carry them around.
You have scoliosis?
Yeah, 23-degree curve in my back.
Huh?
You carry it well?
Thank you. I appreciate
can't tell.
That. But yeah, no, you would. I think mainly because if you went to a bigger high school, if your locker was in one wing and then your classes were all in another one, and like you only had 7 to 8 minutes to get class to class, it just made no sense to stop.
I guess I had an unusual high school experience. That was integral.
Yours is more usual than ours, I think.
Yeah, I always thought so, but
yours sounds normal.
I was getting
classes
during
you're in math class, you
turnover.
get your math book, and then now it's like time for history, and you have the 7-minute passing period.
Did you ever do that? Did you ever go
to the locker, swap out the book, and go to history? Smooches?
Little smoochy smooch?
Yeah.
And
I didn't have time to go to the locker. I would just go meet my girl for a smooch, and then I'd go on to my next class.
We'd smooch at the locker. You'd open the
that's
locker
good.
for cover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're like, hey girl, why don't you come look at it? Take a peek.
Look at this locker.
Take a peek at what's in my locker.
Mm-hmm. Just kidding. This is a smooch. Did we?
You want to do Mountain Dew?
I'll do Mountain Dew.
I don't have it.
I'll do Mountain Dew. Exciting times in the Mountain Dew universe. Exciting times in the Chicago universe. Summertime right around the corner. What better way to get excited about summertime than some Mountain Dew?
New logo.
Going golfing, take some Mountain Dew. You going to the. You call the lake here? You call that going to the beach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say you go to the beach when you go to Lake Michigan?
Mm-hmm. Or you say go to the lake.
It doesn't feel. It doesn't. Yeah, you say go to the lake.
Going to the lake, I think, has to involve
getting in the water.
Either way, whatever you call it, you're going to want to take some Mountain Dew. But yeah, going to the beach doesn't sound right. But I guess
kind of cheating, but whatever.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Point is, take some Mountain Dew with you. Nothing goes better with a trip to the lake, trip to the beach, trip to the golf course. Maybe trip out back. Maybe you're just hanging out back. Maybe someone's got a nice big yard. You got a fire pit out back. Oh, the weather's turning. Everything's great, and everything goes better with some Mountain Dew.
We grilling this weekend, boys.
And they got the new packaging. Look at that.
Yep.
Look at that. Show that off, Connor. Show the camera. But do it in a better way.
Mountain Dew.
Get your finger out of the. There we go. No.
Ebo's doing a good job.
Yeah, there you go.
Good job, Ebo.
Grab a Dew in the new packaging and enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Do that today. Do it tomorrow. Do it every day, man.
I got my
That's what I do.
Baja Blast Surf Club shirt on.
Okay.
I
love Mountain Dew.
I was looking at a list of the top states by coastline the other day. Which states had the most coastline? Now, this might bother you.
Okay, before you go on, coastline. How do we define that?
All right, now that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
There's no.
So I thought okay, well we're doing coastline. You know, Alaska's number one with the most coastline because it's so big. But Michigan and Wisconsin were on the list.
Interesting.
Because they have coastline of Great Lakes. I don't count them. Should they count? They should only count if you have if you're on the ocean or the Gulf.
Are you worried about being considered a coastal elite? Is that why you don't?
No. I would love to be considered a coastal elite.
Now, does like the Great Salt Lake count? Does Utah?
It's a great question, but
why
that's not.
Why do some lakes count? But
okay,
others?
so there's Alaska.
2 methods listed here.
Okay, so
one of which does not have Michigan or Wisconsin. The other of which does have Michigan and Wisconsin.
Okay, so I was obviously looking at a NOAA list.
So yeah, what is the difference between CRS?
That's Congressional Research Service, and that's National Oceanic and Atmosphere. Now that's interesting that the National Oceanic Society decides to take lakes into account.
Yeah, that is interesting. I like the sound of that group more.
Yeah.
National Oceanic, that sounds pretty cool to me, whereas the Congressional yada yada.
Oceanic's a good word.
Yeah, it's a great word.
That is a fucking
great word.
You say Oceanic, I'm like, I'm there.
Not a great airline though, but
oh, Lost?
Yeah, Lost.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, not a great airline.
The data for Method 1 from a CRS report, based on I blacked out.
Based on measurements using large-scale nautical charts, compared to distance.
Coastline lengths were computed by unspecified methods.
Yeah, because you can't.
That includes tidal areas.
Why don't you
How do you
measure this shit?
Why don't you just look at where the state ends and the water begins and say that's the coastline?
But then all these states have like the little islands that like Alaska's got like all the residual
fjords,
rocks that just kind of spilled off of Alaska. Do those count?
If I had to, for $100, could you give me a decent definition of fjord?
Fjord with a J?
What's a fjord? Yeah.
Fjord with a J?
What's a fjord?
Fjord.
Get close.
Fjord is it's like where it's where you fucking you got all the fucking like the glacier meets the lake and the fucking and there's like a hang glider probably hang gliding around there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you don't know what a fjord is?
You got one of the buzzwords.
There might be a waterfall. There doesn't have to be, but sometimes there are maybe multiple waterfalls, and it's also only in Scandinavia.
It's a long, narrow sea inlet with steep sides or cliffs created by a glacier.
So you said
a glacier. All right.
And it's in Antarctica.
And
it's only
and it's also in Scandinavia.
Norway.
Wow.
So the north coastline is estimated. Oh, that looks beautiful. Where's that? Where's that one on the right?
Does Scandinavia do it for you?
Oh, that's Gary.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That looks awesome, dude. I would love to go there.
Scandinavia looks like the most beautiful place on earth.
Beautiful women.
Yeah.
Beautiful fjords. What more do you need, man?
Look at that.
What more do you fucking need?
It's a valley bottom before. Okay.
Well, look at that house.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
That's sick.
Oh,
wow.
my God. That'd be awesome.
Put that on Airbnb.
Check the Zillow on that.
Whoa.
Look at that house.
People in this house fucking hate the people, or vice versa. One day we'll get up there, Eddie.
That's awesome.
All right. Where are we? Oh, Scotty Scheffler broke golf this weekend. I know it's old, but we were at the Bet Gala yesterday. 32 under, 31 under, something like that. Anyway, it opens up for he's obviously a great golfer and he hasn't won he didn't win the major this year, but he won that tournament. I saw another chart that said the most weeks led ever in the world golf rankings. Being number one for the most weeks ever. Scotty Scheffler is now third all time. I believe he's at like 137 weeks or something like that.
That's wild.
He is third all time. He just passed DJ, and they just passed Rory a little while ago, too. So it's Rory, DJ, and Scotty. They're all around that 130 mark. Greg Norman is number 2 with 330. He had a lot.
Wow.
Tiger Woods is first with 638.
Scotty being third. Have they not been doing the rankings that long?
It's got to be because
that.
Jack Nicklaus isn't on the list, so they must have started it like in the 90s or something.
Play-by-play era.
It's a play-by-play era.
Yeah.
What's it called for golf?
The play-by-play era.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you think the play-by-play era covers all sports?
Most likely.
So is baseball currently in the play-by-play era? Because they've been writing.
They've been writing out every
forever.
play for forever. Do you know how to do a baseball scorebook?
I know how to do a bastardized version.
If you were put in charge of that, would you feel comfortable doing it?
I could do it and make it look like I know what I'm doing, but if a purist looked at it, he'd be like, I don't like what you did here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mother, every every Cubs game, it's really the only baseball game she goes to, but every time she goes to Wrigley Field, she buys the scorecard and fills it out. And if I go to a game with her, every so often, she'll try not to. She'll try to like pee and get all her concessions before the game and everything else, so she can just sit in her chair and watch every single pitch. But the handful of occasions where she's like, I got to run to the restroom, she'll hand me the card. Like, you take care of it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck. All right, here we go.
Yeah. That was an H.
You just like turn it over on the other side and write you just write out words.
Yeah.
Like, pitch outside.
So she can come back.
Yeah. I'm like, here's what happened. You fill it in how you see fit. Yeah. I don't know. It's a nice little romantic little thing, I guess. That if you
harkens back to
the good old days of baseball, man. The good old days.
I like old women who just sit on their porch, scoring the game.
Yeah,
scoring the game that they listen to on the radio. That's America.
Yeah,
Ain't that America?
Sure is. Congrats on another great Star Wars show, Connor.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, that was great.
Appreciate it. Anybody who hasn't seen it, go watch.
Please go watch Mexican Star Wars.
How was the reception been?
I think it was good.
How was the reaction?
I think, not to get too much into it, but
I want to get into it. That's why
what he's trying to do.
That's why I asked you the question.
But also, I don't want to, like, if somebody hasn't seen it yet, I don't want to spoil it for them. But I
being
think,
a real John Bacon though.
I think a lot of people, just like you guys, were very, very confused throughout a good chunk of it, and then hopefully by the end, when everything is answered and everything's revealed and that people get it.
So Mark is alive.
I still don't really get it, but
Mark is dead?
Mark's alive.
Mark's alive.
Yeah.
Both Marks?
Mark's alive.
How many Marks?
There was only one.
I just realized he did this whole thing just to create more Connors. We're up to like 4
we
Connors.
have 4
we're
Connors
not.
in
There's
mostly
4
sports
Connors.
universe. There's 4 Connors.
We've
been overrun with Connors.
Also,
it was just
one gorilla versus 100 Connors.
It was just my current self and my future self.
The reason we're confused is because you wrote everything, and you also are asking us the questions, and it's just
you're
just
guys,
like, who could it be? And we're like, we don't fucking know, Connor. You tell us.
Yeah.
But then you're like half participating and helping us solve it, but then also you wrote the thing,
right?
And we're just kind of stuck in the middle of trying to figure out, which Connor we're even talking to.
You're also
because there are 4 Connors.
You're the good guy and the bad guy.
And the bad guy.
So,
and the writer and the director and the narrator of the.
You're also a woman.
But I will say, the 2 times we've done it, I'm thoroughly confused the entire time, and then I go home and I think about it, and I was like, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I was.
Yeah, but you just get to be the hero.
Yeah,
you sit around confused, and then he just says, Mark, get him.
Mark, kill the bad guy. I'm like, yes.
This time around, too, adding in the Mexican Cinco de Mayo element threw a whole different wrinkle in there, both in terms of the delivery and in terms of me planning it, like trying to figure out a way to work that in, and that did make it a little bit more confusing. And the fact that there was Spanish involved definitely did not help. But it was a ton of fun, and I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I want to get you guys, theorizing and trying to think of answers and everything like that, but I get it that at the end of the day, it's probably just going to be me telling you, like, by the way, this is the clue.
Well, to be honest,
by the way, this is...
That's how I consume most of the Star Wars movies also. Is like I don't... if I go see a Star Wars movie when it comes out, like as it comes out, and I'm in a crowded theater, and the theater's oohing and on, I have no idea what they're oohing and on about.
True.
And then we get to the end, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess that guy is the guy who did it, or whatever.
I wanted everybody to be questioning and thinking this doesn't make any sense. What the hell is going on? And then ultimately have them stick around till the end where they get it finally. Oh yeah, that's why. So I think the payoff worked out.
You know what my favorite part was?
What?
When Cody died.
Why? Was that just what set us off?
Okay, yeah.
I think you just killed him just to kill him.
Yeah, like was that a thing you just?
No. That was the gift. That was the gift.
That told us a bad guy was after us.
The bad guy. The bad guy killed Cody. Not to get into who the bad guy was. The bad guy killed Cody.
Yeah,
and it was a part of a larger plan to maybe kill us all.
But we were unsure if that was the bad guy who did it or the good guy who did it. Like Cody being the victim, it left it very.
It was a gift too.
Also, we never made sure he was actually dead.
I threw something at his
I
nuts.
thought he was moving.
I could have sworn as we were talking about him, he was laughing. But he was dead, so there's no way that could have been the case. Well
Shout
done,
out to Cody.
Connor.
Somebody got to do it.
It was a ton of fun. Thank you guys for watching. Keep watching.
We can use the Allspark to bring him back.
Now,
right?
I asked Brandon this yesterday when we were at the Bet Gala. Just have it like a fucking legendary time. Legendary time.
Jeez Louise.
It was a movie, man. I'm surprised I even remember I asked you this.
Yeah.
Because, what a night. Do you think we want to do this every year?
I was thinking about it yesterday.
Or do you think this is going to be too much? Do you think you're going to get burnt out? It's going to just consume you. You're just going to...
Yeah.
Hold on. Talk to me for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should do it every year. Right?
That's what I think, but I also don't want Connor to kill himself.
We did when we did the first one, we were like, so the next one, let's look at the calendar, and that's when we found out it was Cinco de Mayo, and that's when we proclaimed him to have to do Mexican Star Wars next year.
All right, so
do you want to elicit him a challenge now to do
American Star Wars? July 4th?
I don't know, like what's next? You guys give him the brand direction, and he writes the Revenge of the whatever.
Middle East Star Wars.
Yeah, some people were saying North Korea.
Write an allegory about the Middle East.
Star Wars the musical?
Maybe.
And we do our own music?
I would. So I had this idea a while ago. Back when I was in middle school, I was like, this could be, and I'm sure people do it. I was like, I don't know why there isn't like a mainstream Star Wars musical.
Well, I guess
we could
do it.
We could do it. No, people would hate it. People would hate it.
Like, we would all have to perform.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to keep us in the dark because
we'd have to learn.
Yeah. Well, no. So the reason why and it's like the first one that we did last year. The reason why I kind of made myself the hero of that one was because I was the only one who knew the story, and that was what I pigeonholed myself into. Pigeon my hole sounded weird. I pigeon my hole. Oh my God.
You kept pigeoning your hole.
I pigeonholed myself.
Right. Well, how'd you pigeon your hole?
And then if we did a musical, I'd probably have to pigeonhole myself into that again, where I would be the only one
I have
singing.
To be the star. I have to.
No.
Fuck.
But anyway,
I guess I could show them the script, or I could just be the star.
But the best part is that it's
we could reverse the show, but that's like a Savannah Bananas thing.
Right.
Shows. I don't want to rip them off.
No. Whatever works for next year. I just think, regardless, I would prefer that it's a Friday next year. I know this year was different because of scheduling, and we had to pre-tape and
what's
everything.
What's the calendar say?
I have to look into it, but I prefer.
But
it was Friday.
I thought we're doing May 4th. I thought that was the whole point.
Yes.
May 4th is a Monday next year.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, we could do that.
And I guess would maybe be the Bet Gala day.
Yeah, because that is the thing.
Bet Gala day.
I like the fact that last year we did the Friday show, and then we could let it sit for the rest of the weekend, and then we could fully talk about it on Monday. I feel bad talking fully about it now because I know some people haven't seen it yet, and at the same time,
I thought.
So I don't know. It's.
Are people going to be in the mood for some Star Wars on May?
Yeah, you're probably right.
May 1st. That's crazy. That's like
we'll look into it, but I am willing to do another one for sure. I hope you guys realize too, because I did feel bad missing Wednesday's live show to get ready for it. But there was a lot that needed. I was on the phone with people. I was setting up a bunch of different things. There was a lot of stuff that needed to be taken care of. But anyway, I am down to do another one. I viewed it more as a trilogy, but if we want to do it every single year moving forward.
Oh, a trilogy.
Yeah, I think
Star Wars has 3 trilogies.
Yes. The conclusion of this murder mystery trilogy will end next year.
Wait,
and if we want
this story isn't finished.
The story is not finished.
No, the story is not finished. We could tell one more next year.
We'll do it next week.
I know.
And then we will end that and move completely to a different trilogy afterwards if we want to do that.
All right.
But we have to do prequels.
This is a 3-part story.
We'll do prequels.
This is a 3-part story.
Maybe.
So we're getting at least 2 more Connors.
No, there's only been 2 Connors.
We should do prequels after this.
We could do prequels
and learn about where Connor came from.
Yeah, who created Connor? Did Connor create Connor?
Yeah.
Well, who are you gonna cast? Who are you gonna cast for
baby Anakin?
Learn all about the upbringing of Connor.
We could, yeah. I'll look into it, but next year will be the final piece of this trilogy. I'm gonna put that set in stone now.
All right,
and we'll go out with a bang.
So we're definitely doing it again.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again.
Answer
all
that
right,
question.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't just leave it after 2. That feels.
Why would we?
If you haven't watched, go watch. Connor worked very hard, and it is extremely creative. I mean that seriously. It's very creative and, well thought out.
I think,
and it all comes together nicely. Even though I'm confused, I still am like, I leave every one of those things just going, I'm a little confused, but God damn it, he did it again.
Thank you.
Well, Mark has no idea if he's alive or dead.
Yeah.
Well, he's alive. I'm very nostalgic about the first one, just because I had no idea if it was gonna work, and it did, and it was like one of my favorite days at the company. And then KB with the balloon right after, it was awesome. But this one, I had so much fun putting together and pre-recording and acting and doing all sorts of stuff with it. So, go watch.
Go watch.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Well, we got Twin Peaks, and they are the #1 sports bar. That's a big claim, but they back it up at Twin Peaks. You don't have to choose basketball or hockey. You really get it all at Twin Peaks. If you tried their draft beer, it's always 29 degrees. It has beer ice crystals in it. Their food is surprisingly really, really good. It's made from scratch in the kitchen daily, seasoned, smashed, and seared to order burgers, hand-stretched flatbreads, hand-cut steaks, freshly prepared guac. Never have to worry about missing anything. There's literally TVs everywhere. Find your local lodge. Visit TwinPeaksRestaurant.com. Blutman was on the plane with us last night, so he might be sleeping in today, I guess. So I was waiting for him to do hockey, but he's not here, so I'll just go ahead and do hockey. 2 things. Number 1, that game Sunday night was one of the greatest games.
That was the Jets one?
The Jets and the Blues.
Jets and the Blues.
The Jets down 2-0 late. In the last 2 minutes, they scored twice, including 1.2 seconds left. There's an unbelievable excitement. Building goes crazy. They do it at home. 1.2 seconds, they tie it, and then double overtime, they end up winning it. That was fucking phenomenal. It just highlighted how elite. And the one Saturday night, the Game 7 Saturday night was great too, with the Stars scoring late and Mika Rantanen just absolutely slaughtering the team that traded him earlier this season. That was great. Now, my second thing is the Maple Leafs. I'm starting to get the feeling. Now, this is a team that hasn't won the Cup since 1967. It's a team that loses in the first round every single year. They kind of feel like that team this year.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like they got a little bit of
the bullshit,
a little bit of destiny.
Yeah,
a little bit of destiny to them. A little bit of this team's different. They just scored off the rip last night, and they just every time the Panthers got close, they kind of stretched it back out. I think the Leafs might be a legitimate Cup threat here.
The Josh Richards effect.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was saying yesterday at the Bet Gala, he's got the.
I know. Well, I talked to him at the Bet Gala.
Yeah,
me and him hung out.
We talked extensively about that.
Yeah,
you boys.
Yeah,
I wasn't confused by what you said. I was more like that's kind of like we talked.
That's our thing.
Yeah, we talked about it at the Bet Gala for hours with him. Really, we were hanging with him all night.
Dude, he had that one funny line.
So
oh my god,
so good.
Love that guy.
And I don't know if brother. I was hoping you would bring it up. But maybe you didn't see. Maybe turn your head. Like the dap I had with him was so clean.
Oh, was it?
It was so clean. I was hoping
Pop?
you would. Oh, it popped. It was so fucking clean, man.
I didn't see it. That's my bad.
Yeah, I was hoping you would.
Yeah.
It's a Bet Gala, man.
I think me and Chicken Fry had gone to get like appetizers or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fucking Bet Gala.
Fucking Bet Gala.
What else can you say?
What can you say about
else
Bet
can you
Gala?
say?
I don't know. It's just.
What a night.
What can you say? The deviled eggs. The sushi.
They had caviar on a pancake.
They did.
Oh,
yeah.
It's just like my mom used to make.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my god! I took a bite of it. I was like,
oh.
Like, how'd you get my mother's recipe?
That really tells you how quickly I eat things, because I didn't even stop and notice what was on the pancake. I just ate the pancake.
Is that called a Bellini? Is that what that is?
I have no idea.
Shut up, TJ.
TJ, you weren't there. You don't know
Shut up.
shit about the Bet Gala, dude.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You guys like deviled eggs?
I do, yeah.
I've low-key loved it.
I did. You know what? I love them too.
I low-key love deviled
eggs. Last night we had steak, we had lobster, we had crab, we had all so many great expensive foods, and the deviled eggs were my favorite thing.
Yeah.
They were so fucking good. I love a good.
This is all like handheld stuff, or did you?
Well, no.
You sit down and crack open a lobster.
Hors devoured.
There were walk around hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
And then there were stations. Go get your plate at the cold seafood station, or you could go to the kebab station, or you go to the steak station.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or the sushi station.
Lobster salad, amazing. The price point always pisses me off.
Lobster used to be a poor people food, right?
Then
Is that what they say? And then it flipped.
It was for jail.
Yeah, it was for.
They fed it to prisoners.
Yeah, and then suddenly
it's Mr. Fancy Pants. That's a Bellini.
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 Huh?
Bowling. Yeah, that's about exactly what we had last night.
Yeah, that's it.
One of the appetizers.
I know caviar.
What?
Yeah.
I know caviar.
Stop.
Yeah.
You weren't there.
Meek Phil was there.
Bet Gala, man.
Yeah, how does it feel to be like you went to that event thinking you were the man, like your blue suit? Dave's like, oh, Walker looks pretty good, and then Meek Phil just dominated the whole night, stole the whole show.
Yeah, he did.
See, Meek was up doing the he was doing the spotlight stuff, and he was out there, and he was me and Mark were back in the cut. We were chilling.
Yeah,
we were back with everybody.
Yeah.
We were doing the real Bet Gala stuff.
That's what the Bet Gala is about.
Yeah,
really.
You're finding that corner.
Mm-hmm. Brandon looked good.
I did. I looked good.
Got
on theme.
Yeah. I bet the Dodgers and the Maple Leafs.
Thank God.
Blue.
Thank God you got your hands on that tux before prom season rolled around.
It
would have been hard to.
You're joking,
that.
but it was competitive in that store that day. I had to fight for a measurement. I had
16-year-olds out of the way.
I had to absolutely fight for a measurement, and I had to get a little huffy. I was like, hey, I'm here too.
Is it prom season now?
It's
been a couple weeks.
Tail end of prom season.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was golfing at the club the other day, and a prom came through.
Didn't we last year?
Why did it sound like you were about to do like a Bernie Mac joke?
I was golfing.
I was golfing at the club.
I was golfing at the club the other day. You know how like I do.
Didn't last year we tease the idea of doing a prom?
Yeah.
I
2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago?
We were sending Connor to
3
prom,
years
right?
ago?
No, I think I threw out the idea and you guys all mocked me. I think
Yeah, because because Brandon and I are
we're grown
like
adults.
Brandon's almost 50, I'm almost 30. Like it's
like
we're grown fucking men.
That doesn't. I don't know that really accurately.
No, I
paints
think
the picture of our ages.
We're grown men, is what I'm saying.
We are grown men.
Yeah,
I agree with
I'm
you on
saying
that.
we're well past.
But almost 50 and
years
almost 30 just seems like
it's
you can't be almost
a rounding error. It's a rounding error.
You can't be almost something that you've already passed.
It's a rounding error. I'm just saying you're getting bogged down. The point is, like we can't be doing prom at our age.
But if we did something similar to the Bet Gala where we all get dressed up and
you want to do a formal event, is what you're saying?
I don't know. We could figure out something.
And once you work a little hard, maybe you'll get invited to the Bet Gala next year.
maybe.
Man,
get on the PJ.
Can't imagine not being at the Bet Gala.
Oh, it would destroy me.
I'd have to quit. I'd wake up this morning and quit.
And listen, was it worth me sleeping on that couch last night? The entire. No, it wasn't. That was my bed last night, boys. I slept right there.
The headphones were a little bit messed up today. I could tell.
Well, my ass was on them.
Yeah.
Anybody got anything else?
Nah, I'm done.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow with a full night of sleep and more juice, as they say. We'll have a little more juice tomorrow. The Bet Gala took it out of us last night. But
do some ass slaps in the
we'll slap some ass and we'll come back tomorrow better and stronger and more well rested. In the meantime, goodbye everybody. See you tomorrow.
That's how ball's done.
family, family.